check. 1 2 1 2.
That's funny. Oh. Ooh. Where you at? All right. Happy Thursday, everybody out there. Happy Thursday to everybody jumping on. Welcome. Midday Madness. It's lunchtime on the West Coast. We know some of y'all are chiming in from the East Coast and all over the entire world. We want to say hello to each and every one of you as we're super excited to share some incredible nuggets that have helped us take our business and our life to the next level. All right, y'all? So we are live.
What's good, everybody? What's good? Thank you guys for being a part. As we said before, we get ready to jump into a crucial part of the book. Heck, the whole book is crucial, right? Every part of the book is crucial. But you know, as always, guys, I got blamed for the technical difficulties on the
What? Can we ever get this technology right? It's always.
We got so much going on. There's so many things that we're trying
What's going on, y'all?
We're on like 7 different platforms.
It feels so great to be before y'all.
But nonetheless, here we are.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing popping, man, because I don't waste any more of you guys' time. I don't want to waste your time, period. So let's go ahead and get this thing jumping. I know that some of you guys have been on here before. Some of you, this is your very, very first time and you're jumping in. If you don't know what you tuned into, you have tuned into the in-depth insight on how to build a fire in your MLM business, right? Hopefully you guys have the book. If you don't have the book, stick around. I'll show you guys how to get it at the end of this. Guys, I happen to be the author. My name is Nathan McCray. This is my amazing wife, Ms. Pamela McCray. She goes by Pam.
Absolutely, unless I'm in trouble.
So, right.
And my parents, rest in peace, I'm no longer in trouble.
She's no longer in trouble. and my parents most certainly ain't going to put her in no trouble because they love her more than they love me. So nonetheless, this is the book that we're going to talk about today. If you guys don't have it, then I'll show you how to get it later, but you can grab it off of Amazon e-copy, the ebook. Grab it off Amazon. We are adamantly working on the physical copy that should be coming in at some point in September. You'll be able to grab the physical copy, which I am proud to say and excited to say will be a more robust version of this, right? So it'll be a 30-day workbook included inside of this. Affirmations, some insights from me, some notes, different things. We throw some insights from you in there too. No problem. So you live this thing too. But nonetheless, this will be available on Amazon in paper copy, right? And more robust versions. So grab your book if you have it. Grab your e-copy, pull it up so we can go into what we like to go into and call the spark. Now, some of you are on our screen here as Facebook user. So if you want us to know who you are and see all of these amazing comments that you're putting up, then, please go out and come back in and give StreamYard access, or what do you call it? Access to show your name. Authorization.
Permission.
Permission. Yeah, we'll get it right.
We got it.
To show your name on the screen, right?
Right.
So we thank you guys for all the love. We thank you guys for being a part. Pam, you got anything you want to say before we jump in?
No, one of the things that I do want to say is, first of all, hello to each and every one of you out there today. But, what I love about the topics that we're diving into, when you think about success, when you think about being an entrepreneur in the world, although this really applies to the things that we went through in the industry of MLM, direct sales, network marketing, to be able to become who we are today as we continue to grow. It really applies to anything that you put your hands to when you're that entrepreneur out there in the world, wanting to do something different in order to have something different. That's what entrepreneurship is all about, really living your passion. I love it because, all of these principles, all of the things that we talk about, it really goes across the board. So, just excited to dive into this next topic today as we're talking about the spark.
Absolutely. So, just a little bit ago, I actually put out a post, and you guys know I'm not like the postmaster. I don't post every day. I don't post 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. When I post things that are in my mind and my heart. So I put up a post, and it was talking about, actually, it was the post that was leading you guys to this, and it talked about the simple system and how most entrepreneurs stumble around in the dark before they actually understand how to actually get traction, how to build a fire, or in layman's terms, how to build residual income in your business. Yeah. This is what this book is really about. If I had this double subtitle it would be How to Build Residual Income. Because to be quite honest with you guys, retail is easy. I can say that. Retail is easy. Why does retail get easy in an MLM business? It gets easy because if the products work. When the products work, there becomes that thing called demand.
Product or the service, right?
Right. The product or the service works. No matter what company you're working with, or whatever you're in, MLM wise, your product or service needs to work. And at that point, there becomes that's the demand, and all you have to do is supply that demand.
Absolutely.
So just have the product on hand, or have a website to get your product to the masses. That's why we say it's easier to retail than to build residual income. It takes a little bit. This is why this book was birthed. This book was birthed so that you guys have a simple, basic guideline to actually go by, so that you know the basics, the foundation that you need to build on. I didn't say one, okay? The foundation that you need to build on. These are guiding principles for the industry of multi-level marketing and direct sales, right? So,
absolutely.
You want to recap a little bit for him, Pam?
You want to recap?
Just really quickly, go over the different sections that we.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, some of the things that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks, progress or just movement, there's a huge difference in whether you're actually creating some progress, in the very things that you're doing. It's a simple system. It all starts with you, keeping things simple. What's another topic that we talked about? We talked about owning it, okay? Taking ownership and responsibility, in order to be able to move yourself forward. We talked about putting the shovel down, right? Sometimes you're digging those holes, and you got to put that shovel down and start trimming some things in order to move forward. Transparency. We always talk about, how in this industry, transparency equals currency, and anything that you do, you want to be transparent because you want to be relatable. So we talked about that. We also talked about coach or not. Do you need a coach, or not? So, we truly believe that everybody needs a coach in life, and in order to, get yourself to the next level.
Now, just stop right there for a second, because I want to expound on that, because I think that's a very important part. Coach or not. And the coach to not part is, you have to understand, the person that actually, I guess, sponsored you into the business that you're in now, that person may or may not be your coach.
Right.
Because they may not know any more than you know right now. So they're just your business partner. But Pam just said, everybody needs a coach. If it's not a person that you have physical, real-time contact to, at least go and glean from somebody.
Right, absolutely.
That has actually been where you're trying to go, or is where you're trying to go, or past. Created a success.
Right, absolutely.
And now you've got that person in your life that's there, and you may just glean from afar. You may never get a chance to, to actually talk to a 6 or 7 figure earner, right? And people are, there's a lot. You got to think, Pam and I's organization, there are tens of thousands of people. We can't talk to everybody, but they can most certainly jump on the things that we do and get the information. It may not be on the phone firsthand, but you're getting it. So you guys get that part.
Right. Absolutely. The Jesus mentality. You cannot save the world, right? So when you realize that there are certain people that you're called to touch and to impact in life, cannot have the Jesus mentality. So we talked about that. We talked about simplicity, keeping it simple. Anytime you keep things simple, then guess what? Others can do it. It makes it duplicatable. So we talked about simplicity and the importance of that energy. You know, whatever you give energy to is going to grow. It's going to explode. So you got to have that energy, you know, that fire, that passion towards what you're doing. You know, we ended up closing out that last segment talking about energy and also IPA, something that we're really focused on. You know, right now we're doing a challenge within our organization on income producing activity, because if you're not doing the activity that's going to produce the income, then that's a problem. Right. And that would, you know, result in the type of, you know, earnings that you're bringing into your household every single week. So, you know, and then we didn't really go into, did we talk about It's Your Turn?
No, we're going to get into that today.
All right.
So we're going to get this. So we're actually going to jump into it's your turn, and we're going to jump into the spark today, which we call the functional aspects of the book and the functional aspects of you building this business. So guys, if you have a pen and paper, make sure you take notes. But one thing that we're going to pride ourselves on, as we've always done, and from the very beginning of this book, even to this point, is we're going to keep it simple for you. Because the average person does not do complicated things, right? Okay, especially when it is concerning their business, right? Some people this is their very first ever home-based business that they've ever started. So most certainly you're not getting ready to get them to do a whole bunch of complicated steps. So we're going to keep it simple. So the first step that you really want to ask yourself is, you know, after you've come off of the mental aspect of what we just talked about as a whole, Pam just recouped, you want to ask yourself, now you've heard all of that, is it my turn? So we're asking you, is it your turn? After you got all of what you just got, is it your turn, right?
Well, you know, and before you actually go into reading, that's very important, because as you ask that question, in order for it to be your turn, you have to know without a shadow of a doubt that it is your turn, okay? And I just want to say that, because it's not until, as we were growing in the industry, it wasn't until we really got it deep down in our heart. Things went from our head to our heart, to where we really understood that, you know, if we don't believe it's our turn, as we're now practicing all of these principles that we talked about, as we began to do these things, that, you know, it would have never became our turn. So,
all right, so start reading, because you're already into it.
All right, is it your turn? All right. Know and be fully convinced that it is your turn. Not just because you say it, but because you have committed to work for it. That's key. There are trenches below the trenches, and we all have to do our time there. Successful people never have a shortcut mentality, because they understand that growth is in the process. The trenches below the trenches are where we learn things like commitment, like consistency, coachability, humility, accountability, improvement, and serving. If you choose your leader wisely, you should believe that your leader is proven and for you, not against you. Everything they say is for your benefit. Remember, in this industry, you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself. If you do not use the resources you have been given to guide you, then your transition will be slower and more painful. That's so true. Having a
let's stop there.
Okay, let me stop.
So let's stop there, because if I don't think that statement could have gotten any simpler. Right.
That
the entire paragraph.
Plain and to the point.
Very simple, right? So we always talk about foundational things. We talk about the principles that govern and guide us through this industry. And this industry is not like any other industry, because no other industry on the planet has created the success that this industry has created, right? So when you think about starting a traditional business, right? Your traditional business is you go out and you put out a large sum of money to get a brick and mortar, and people aren't really clicking and ordering right now as a primary. It's brick and mortar. Right. So people are coming in street traffic, right? As the street traffic is coming in, you know, you're talking about putting out a lot of money, you know, to start your business
before you realize the profit.
Before you even realize the profit, you know, and I think that's important to bring out, because most businesses, when you're creating a business plan, they tell you that you're going to run in the red for how long?
Probably like a couple of years, 5, 6,
at least a year. You're going to run in the red as a very minimum. You're going to run in the red, right? So if you're not starting to realize a profit after that first, maybe the second year, then there's a big problem, right? If I were going to start a traditional business, my business plan would be laid out to a point to where I get it that I'm going to start really realizing a profit after a year. Mm-hmm. That's just the time frame I give myself, right? Traditionally. But the beautiful thing about direct sales network marketing is you can realize a profit like ASAP.
Right. Like you could get started today.
Right.
And make money today.
And make money
right.
today. Right.
Right. It's
the beautiful thing. You know, so when we say this industry is not like any other industry, you've heard a lot of other things, you know, is that one of those things? Is that this? Is that that? Yeah, it is one of those things. Is that you and after they've said all of it, they say it, most people say a lot of things about things that they don't know about.
Right. That's true.
They downfall or down talk things that they don't know about. So understand who it's coming from. Right. So consider your source.
That's good.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, I asked a question the other day and I was like, you know, why do people quote unquote, I guess, hate, or why do people never want you to grow? Right. Remain the same. Don't change. You know, I don't care how much money you get. People make this stupid statement when they say, don't change. I just don't want to see you. Don't change. Just be the same person. Who says that to people? Right?
You should change for the better.
You better change for the better, right? Right. So who says that? People Absolutely. That want to remain average, more so people that they don't necessarily want to remain average. They don't want you to go someplace that they're not going.
Absolutely.
Fear loss is the beast.
Yeah, that's the key. They don't want you. They don't want to go, but they don't want you to go either. You know, right. So you got to recognize these things. That's powerful. Absolutely. So let me continue.
So and I was going to the trenches below the trenches.
Oh, the trenches below the trenches.
That's where these things are. That's where you learn them. There is no light there. There is nobody patting you on the back saying, great job. There is nobody saying, you know, giving you prizes for doing these things. These are the things that you do because you want to build a business.
Right.
And you want to create residual income. And you don't need nothing right now to do that.
Right.
That's the key. I want you guys to grab that, because so many people start businesses and they quit the business based on not the one thing that should dictate what they do, but they quit and start the business based on what other people say and do. Right.
And it's the craziest thing, because if you are starting something for yourself personally, right, and you believe in something, why would you allow somebody else to take you off your game? You know, why? Because one of the biggest excuses is, well, my sponsor don't do this or my sponsor don't do that. But we just said that this is your own business. You're not in business by yourself, right? But you're in business for yourself. So therefore, you have to realize that you have the power to get it done if you choose to get it done. But it's all about the work that's done in the trenches, because anything that's done in the trenches, below the trenches, it's going to eventually come to the light. So if you don't have something on the inside of you, then guess what? You're not going to be confident. You're not going to be consistent. You're not going to, have all of the qualities in order to create success. You're going to be the one that's tossed and turned from side to side as the nose comes, as the rejection that's a part of this industry. But when you really dive into something, when you don't worry about the limelight and the shining, the light shining on you, but yet you just put in the work. You just do the basic things, the income producing activities, and you work on you and you grow, eventually the success is going to happen. It's a process. It really is.
It's when you think about how buildings are erected, right? We talk about this all the time, and I think it's important because this came to mind because I know somebody needs it. When you think about how buildings are erected, the beautiful buildings that we see, the skyscrapers, we see them. Nobody actually understands or sees those or pays those buildings any attention until they are probably like halfway erected. Right. And then when they get completely erected, they're really like, oh, that is beautiful. Right. But when the 2x4s and the cement trucks and the guys with the hard hats and the saggy pants, are there doing all of the grunt work, it's not sexy. Nobody sees the foundation that's being laid. Nobody sees how far down the steel beams are going into the ground to create a stable foundation to build a tall building on. And if you don't get this part, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't get anything else out of the book, you need to get this part. That's why we're dwelling here a little bit, okay? Because it's not your sponsor's responsibility, right? Whatever you want to call them, sponsor, whatever. It's not their responsibility to give you these things. You need to get them yourself. And Pam's going to read the list off again of what these things are, so that everybody understands what they are, and it's unequivocally necessary that you have these foundational skills in your arsenal. And nobody is going to be there, cheering you on. This is the dark spot for you as an entrepreneur. This is where you need to dwell at first. And some of you, you've built your business and it's on sand. Right now, it's like it's wobbling side to side because you never built this foundation. You never dug down deep enough and dug a trench below the trench and dug those footers and those steel beams down far enough so that your business can withstand anything. Right? And it's going to have to withstand a lot. Understand that. There are a lot of naysayers. There are a lot of haters. Understand that you got to have it down there. So these principles that Pam is going to read, if you don't have them, stop, move back, instill these principles into yourself and into your team, and then restart your business. Pam's going to read those principles again for you.
Absolutely. The trenches below the trenches are where we learn things like commitment. Long after that moment is gone, you keep on going, right? In which you set it in. Consistency. Nothing happens without consistency. Coachability, humility, accountability. You gotta be accountable. Improvement. If you're not growing, we are dying at the end of the day. You gotta grow, you gotta improve, you gotta change, and you have to learn to serve. Okay, so those are some of the trenches below the trenches, the things that you need to have in order to take your business and your overall life to the next level. So, moving forward, okay, after talking about the trenches in the trenches, below the trenches in the trenches, having a simple plan, a system, a product, a comp plan, and back office training will not create duplication. Okay, y'all get this? There must be a movement that creates momentum. Create or tap into that movement. People will do that. People will do what they see you do. Don't think that you have to become a product, a comp plan, or a back office expert before you can get started. And that's key. One of the things that I love about our industry is that it truly is going to pay you to learn as you're learning, pay you as you're growing, pay you as you're developing, pay you as you're becoming. Okay, the pure passion and momentum that is there is enough to launch your business. You don't need a high MLM IQ. You just need to be hungry, and that's capital, hungry, and do the most productive activities, right? That's what it takes. Just be hungry and do the work.
So let's stop there and let's talk a little bit about movements. Movements that create momentum. And we said in the very beginning of this book, one of the sections was progress or just movement. You can move side to side vehemently. I mean, you can make people think that you're moving, doing a whole bunch of stuff, but you're just moving side to side, right?
Not getting any results.
Right. So now this is a good sign, because this is good, because I want you guys to understand this. A great leader is going to always create a movement for you to follow, right? There's always going to be something that's going to stretch you, that's going to have that income producing activities in it that moves your business to the next level. Whether or not you do them is the key on whether or not they're going to work for you. Right? Because they actually work. So the movement, right? You may have a 60-day, a 90-day movement, a 30-day movement. You may have a 5-day, a 10-day movement, whatever it is. Tap into that movement, because guess what? Team stands for what, Pam?
Together. Everyone achieves more, right?
Teamwork. So if you have a team of people, and that team is going to help move the team forward, everybody has to do their part, right? So that means if the movement is started, the movement needs you.
Absolutely.
Tap into the movement and help propel the movement forward. And that means now you are a part of the team. That's the lifeblood. That is actually the thing that sets this industry apart from every other industry, is simply because now you're not just doing this by yourself. There's strength in numbers. right? You go out and you buy a Chick-fil-A, guess what? I think Chick-fil-A has probably one of the best business models
they do
on the planet.
Right.
I mean, people are around the corner
on point.
trying to go and get that chicken. But why do
you
most
don't
people
get bad
tell you
at Chick-fil-A.
No, and you know what? You know why I'll go to Chick-fil-A because the service is just so darn good.
Yeah.
Right? It's so good. If I'm there, I know if the line is around the corner, I know that line is going to pop. It's going to move because they got momentum. They have progress. So people come. If you ask, everybody in line, why do you keep coming here? It's the same fries, same chicken. Yeah, the tea and the lemonade, all of it's great. On top of it, the food is great, right? But people, if the food was great and the line was long and you had to stay there forever and the people were mean to you, you wouldn't care how good the food was.
No,
you wouldn't come back. So the momentum comes from you moving the movement along.
That's good. That's good. All right.
Last part.
The question from new distributors is always, what do I do? The answer is just follow the simple system. Don't overcomplicate it, and that's key. The question is, are you doing it? And what or who are you following? If you have no spark, they will have no spark. Do what you say and say what you do.
Boom. Simple. Right. So all of this is simple, guys. I hope you guys are not just writing this. I hope you guys have the book because this book is good to refer back to pass on to your team so that they understand there are no stones left unturned. Right. So now you've got the principles all the way up to telling yourself it is my turn. We've answered that question. Is it your turn? Yeah, it is your turn because now you understand how this system works. So now we're going to jump into what we call the spark. Right? You guys understand the spark, and then there's a smoke, and then there's a fire. Here's where the rubber starts to meet the road. Okay? So the spark, your products and services sustain the spark, right? First of all, you are the spark. You should write that in big letters. You are.
Who's the spark?
The spark.
You're the spark.
Right? You're the spark. Your products and services sustain the spark, and the movement creates the lifestyle. Now, lifestyle is a big word. In my mind, it's a big word. It's a powerful word.
Very.
It is a word that it's worth repeating over and over again because we always talk about lifestyle and we talk about sustainability. We talk about transparency because your transparency in this industry, in traditional corporate America, you don't have to tell people what you're going through. You can go to work. They pay you your time, your money for your time, right? And then you can go home.
And they don't care what you're going through.
They really don't care. You could have all sorts of addictions and you could lose everything you own and they don't care. Right. Just come to work, give me your time and I'll give you these dollars, right?
Trade that time for them dollars.
Time for dollars. Mm-hmm. But here your transparency is key. People want to know who you are. They want to know what you're going through. They want to know, you know what? I told a guy yesterday, I was playing golf yesterday, right? Surprise, surprise. I'm always playing golf. I was playing golf yesterday and I met a guy on the golf course and we're playing and, he was a good golfer. We're vibing, having a great day on the golf course. And he started to ask questions about, what it is that I do and things of that nature. So I started explaining some stuff and I mentioned Atlanta, Georgia to him. And he heard it and he went on a little bit in the conversation. And he said, so Atlanta, he said, you guys, thought about moving back to Atlanta or something like that. And I said, honestly, I said, now the new Nate was able to say this. Nothing against Atlanta, but in my mind, I said, no, we're not looking to move back to Atlanta. I said, because to be quite honest with you, Atlanta is a place where we were the brokest. We were the brokest in Atlanta, right? So Atlanta has some bittersweet ties for us, right? Could we go back? Yeah. Do we want to go back and live there? Probably not, but there's some other places we don't want to go back and live either, right? But I'm like, we were the brokest. He was like, man, he said, I don't know anybody that would actually say that, that they were the brokest in Atlanta. And I said, yeah, we ain't broke no more, but we were broke as HELL in Atlanta. And he was like, wow. I said, bro, there's a lot of people that you don't understand are living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people are living below the poverty level. A lot of people are living hand to mouth.
Right.
But they're just not willing to divulge that information to you because nobody's willing to go first.
Right.
Nobody wants to identify and connect.
Right.
Right. And that's what this is about.
It's true. A lot of people are that private failure and a public success. I mean, because that was us for a very long time. We looked good to the world.
Yes.
But we was broke.
Close the curtain when you come in the house. Somebody don't see the inside.
Let's see.
We was house broke.
Right, absolutely, yes. Not knowing whether the lights were going to get cut off. Many times they did, and now we sitting back like, ooh, okay, what we gonna do next? Like,
right?
Right, like for real. It's real.
So let's go through this because we're getting short on time. Because I know I get excited when I'm talking about something that is going to actually help people move their lives forward, right? And Pam does too. All right, so let's get into the rest of the spark, right? So your products and services sustain the spark and the movement creates the lifestyle. This is where you pop, right? This is where you become a product of your product, right? Where you test your belief system. This is it. This is the spot, right? If you're not taking your own products, there's no belief. They say if you don't stand for something, then you fall for anything. This is your moment to stand for something. This is your moment to show the world that you are sold out. And you will not be discouraged by the naysayers. Right. This industry is not perfect, but it is better. This is not easy, and don't you dare believe the person that tells you otherwise. Not everyone can be an entrepreneur. Say that again. Maximus. Not everyone can be an entrepreneur. What's a broadcast if Maximus is snoring? Home-based business, right? But there are simple systems that have been put in place to level the playing field for everyone. Right. Network marketing is a place to flex your entrepreneurial muscles. There are no guarantees. Right. And you get what you work for. That's key. Oh my gosh. I mean, you said so much in that paragraph, like for real, and I the first thing that really stood out to me is, you will not be discouraged by your naysayer. This is the moment to show the world that you are sold out and that you will not be discouraged by your naysayers. Do you realize that any time that you step out to do something different, I don't care what it is in life, there are always going to be the naysayers out there. There's always going to be the ones who don't believe in the very thing that you choose to do. And if you allow that to get into your spirit, if you allow that to, get into your mind, right? Because the mind is the devil's playground in which, if you allow things to creep in, it will cause you to quit. It will cause you to lack belief. It will cause you to double think yourself and to question yourself and to allow doubt to creep in. But when you are confident, when you for real practice the things that we just talked about in the trenches below the trenches, and you get confident in something and you're able to talk about it and you pop like Nate said, and you are a product of that product, a product of that service, whatever, because you believe in it. That's the only way for you to believe in something. If you are embarking on it, you are engaging in it, you are a part of it, then nothing can stop you. And that's the point that you got to get to. It wasn't until I could talk about myself, I got myself to the point, because I used to be concerned about what everybody thought. Right, for real. And I would allow people. Nate and I started many businesses, baby. You remember we started so many businesses in which we were so excited. And we were like, yes, we would build that list, right? Y'all know that list, right? And we would build that list. We're like, yes, this person's gonna support us. This person's gonna change. Everybody got a home phone. They're gonna change, they're gonna support us. Why not? It's nothing to change over, right? And so, whatever it was. And we would create that list and we would pick up the phone and we would call a couple people. They would tell us no, our friends, y'all, our family, the ones we was like, dang, y'all got us our back, like for real. All right. And they would tell us no, and we would quit. I laughed at the got my back thing.
Man, we would quit.
I'm sorry.
Right. Seriously. And it's because we weren't confident. Right? We didn't even give ourselves the opportunity to become a product of the product. We didn't give a product of the service. We didn't give ourselves the opportunity to be consistent. We didn't give ourselves the opportunity to build that confidence. And so we would quit. The naysayers are a part of your process. And when you realize that, and I speak to from like for real, I'm passionate because I was that one. For real. The naysayers are gonna be there. The people are not gonna like you. Everybody not gonna like y'all. Newsflash, hello. It's okay. Because the ones that are called to you, the ones that you're supposed to be connected to, the lives that you are supposed to change, if you just keep going, if you say it's my turn, if you say I am the spark, then guess what? You won't let anybody pour water on your spark. Mm-hmm. You'll get up every day and you will burn and burn like you never burned before in life.
But here's the thing. But how do you do what Pam just said? Right? How do you do that? How do you have the fire? How do you have the passion? How do you even, allow us? Because, people are going to try to put your spark out. But here's the thing. I think people come in with false expectations.
That's true.
Right? Mm-hmm. But here's the other piece. The biggest false expectation is what Pam just said, thinking that friends and family are going to be the ones that are going to support you. Right? They're going to be the first people to buy, and they're going to stay. They're never going to stop. They're going to keep going right with you because they love you. They're friends. They're family. But let me give you guys a statement that's going to change your life as you know it. Right? It's a growth statement. So you understand. Right? The people that you know, the people that you're closest to, they're going to be the hardest. Right? That's why we say you practice on them. Right? But here's the reason why. It's hard for the people that have known you intimately. They've seen you fail time and time again. Right. They've seen you not commit. They've seen you not be consistent. They've seen it. They know the old you. So here's the thing.
They don't know the you that
they
you
can't get past the old you to see the new you that you're becoming. Now, I'm not saying shun them.
No.
I'm not saying, put a PSA out that says, all y'all suckers.
Right, no public service announcement.
Don't do that. The reality is your success, your level, your elevation, your ascension is what's going to actually separate you from everybody else and actually help them to understand that this is a new person. Right. I don't know this person. The old person will quit after a week. But they're not quitting. Right. And then, they lost a bet. They're taking secret bets. How long do you think it's going to take for them to quit?
She the jack of all trades. She ain't mastered nothing. Let's see.
Let's see. I bet she quit in a week. I bet he don't even last a month. Right. But what makes them really get it and understand? Right. They get it because you are understanding that you're the spark. If you sell a Chevys, you can't drive a Ford. If you're selling gold, and that's all you like, I'm the gold man. And every time they see you, you got silver on and you don't have none on. You're what we call entrepreneurial hypocrite. Yeah. Right? Nobody's going to do what you're not doing.
Absolutely.
So the key is do it. The naysayers are going to say that you can't. And newsflash is going to be friends and family first. The prime saying is the people that are going to take you into the next level in your business, you probably don't even know them yet. Right. That's not a buzz on the people that are already there. But you're keeping that third eye on them because guess what? Some of them are going to be here. Some of them going to quit, right? But you never get hung up on the people that quit. You focus on the people that are there.
Absolutely.
And we never convince, okay?
We don't convince.
I remember watching a very intense action movie. The motto of the movie was, you keep what you kill. Sounds cruel, right? I like the motto because it puts people in the mindset that nothing is free, nothing is given. You have to work for what you want over here, or you don't eat. It brings out a side of you that even you have not met yet. That's what network marketing is all about. Bringing out the beast part of you, I said beast, but I should have made that.
No, it says
I should have made that beast.
It says best.
I know, but I should have made that beast.
Oh, okay.
Bringing out the beast part of you, right?
Okay.
So bringing out the best part of you, I feel that it relates to the industry on a realistic, truthful level, because the truth is enough. The truth is enough. The truth is enough. The truth is enough. If your products don't work, you gotta lie.
That's right.
That's what people do when their products don't work, right? But if your products, your services, they work, then you don't have to lie. It's the truth. Here's this person did this person did that, then boom, it's enough, right? Mm-hmm. Your spark is what makes it real for everyone else to see. Your spark is what creates the initial belief in those around you. People want what you have because it's working for you. And it's not because you are saying it, but it's because they are seeing it. Your spark creates the attraction that you have to offer. It's genuine, it works, and it's attainable. Mm-hmm. You don't need to overstate income and make false promises to get someone to try your products or even join your business. Pam,
right. That's great. If your products work, then there's no need to lie about anything. Just let them try the product and the process begins. There's a saying that I love and live by: never make a good customer a bad distributor. Mm-hmm. We sometimes do this when we push the business on our customers. I would rather have a committed customer that loves my products and services any day. As I said earlier, not everyone is an entrepreneur, and you want entrepreneurs in your business. Don't force it. Just follow up with your customers, give them a good experience, and the entrepreneurs will find you. Find yourself 3 good entrepreneurs, and you will have the starter kit to build an empire. Like always attracts like. You just have to be able to notice it. Sometimes it's hard to see the forest for the trees. See the big picture and set goals to achieve it. Now that your spark has been recognized, people will want to hear your individual goals under this simple plan. If you don't know what you want and have a plan in place to get it, then they will lose initial confidence in your ability to lead them. Remember, a plan without action is just a dream. Wow.
If I stop right there, if we never read another word, right? You can go and build an amazing business, right? You can, but you're going to be missing some pieces, right? You're going to be missing some pieces. But I want you guys to get this, because these are the things that you need to say to brand new people that come into this business. One of the most profound statements in that paragraph is the truth is enough.
Yes. Absolutely.
And if you have, here's the thing, if you don't feel good about the company, and I'm gonna say this because you know what, we tell the truth over here. If you don't feel good about the company that you are a part of right now, if you're not feeling the hunger and the passion based on what I just said, if there's some components that are missing from anything that Pam just read, anything that she said, if you're not feeling it, then guys, I gotta tell you, you may want to reevaluate. Right? Either it's the company, the products, the comp plan, or it's you. You have to reevaluate. A lot of times it's you. Right? So, but understand, we always talk about the trifecta, right? And I do this a lot. I do this. This stands for 3 percenters, right? Mind, body, and money. I do this a lot, but the trifecta is actually having a great company that really wants you to win. How do they do that? They do that by having a company that gives you longevity, right? That has longevity, that has the mentality and the goals, the vision to be around for a long time. Right? Now that company has that mindset, and then the company also has some great knockdown, drag out products and services. Right? People, it's not because you're saying it, it's because it is.
Right.
It's not because you're doing the jump through hoops and the herkies and the cartwheels and the backflips and they like the way you're doing the backflips.
Right.
No, it's the products that sell themselves. Right? Now here's the key, right? The compensation plan is where people get hung up at.
Right.
The compensation plan has to be top heavy, right? And it has to have a middle part, and it has to have an end that has longevity. So you can make a lot of money in the beginning, and you can make money the whole way through, right?
I also think that, what the company stands for, is very important, in what it represents, the values, and leadership. Leadership is very, very important.
Very important. Too. But we're trying to get you to become the leader that the industry needs.
Right.
Right. In order for you to become the leader that the industry needs, that means you're going to have to lead by example. Mm-hmm. That means you're going to have to use the products. That means you're going to have to do what we call POP, be a product of your products. If you're not willing to do that, then if you're not willing to use the products, then how do you think somebody else is really going to use the products? They're not going to want them because you're not using them. And what is the evidence that the products work? You, right? Our business exploded. That's just no secret, Pam and I, we're in the health and wellness industry. Our business exploded when we started to use the products, right? When we became products of the products, that's when things started to happen. Mm-hmm. When Pam started dropping that initial weight, people was like, oh my gosh, I want to drop weight. Pam is like, I'm broke and I got this belly fat.
Let's see if this stuff works.
Right. She became incredibly transparent and connected and identified with people, right? But she wasn't a professional victim.
No.
She told people what her issues were. These are my challenges. And then the magic happened. And this is what I'm doing to overcome it.
Right.
That's the key.
That's the key.
Absolutely. So the spark, guys, be the spark. If you don't take anything away from today's session, be the spark that your business needs. Right. Well, we can tell you that you're the spark. You know me. I'm going to tell you. Here's the thing. You can get the mirror. You can stand in front of the mirror. And you can say, I am the spark. Just like Pam just said, it starts with positive affirmations.
Absolutely.
Right?
Does.
I'm the spark.
I am the spark.
And you can be shining in front of that mirror, smiling.
But you got to do the work.
Then you walk away from it. Then you walk away from it and everything changes.
Right. That's true.
You don't do the things that you said you're going to do because you don't even believe that you are the spark.
Yeah.
That's when it goes back to, is it your turn? I don't know. You gotta. If it's your turn, then you're going to do work.
Absolutely. When you believe it. When you believe it. And without a shadow of a doubt that you are the spark, and you put in the work, you focus on the trenches below the trenches and really just becoming the person that you need to become. And it's all about growth. It's all about the work. It's all about you understanding what you have in your hands. And believing in it, believing in yourself first and foremost, because if you don't believe in you, nobody else will. Once you believe in you and you believe in whatever it is that you're doing, because you're popping, you're doing all these things, then guess what? That's when you start to see the success. But you have to understand that it's all about process. Just like Nate mentioned earlier, a lot of times people have unrealistic expectations of the things that can happen, in our industry, but it truly is a process. And, people have to realize, a lot of times people say, well, you know what, they went from broke to, success in 17 months, to where we were literally living the life that we've always dreamed of, but I could tell you, it took us 20 years. We failed, so a lot of times people see the glory, but they don't know the story. They don't know the pain that you've been through. And that's why transparency is always currency, because you got to know that there's somebody out there in the world that can relate to the things that you're going through, the things that you went through. And, it's all about that test becoming your testimony, right? And that mess becoming your message so that now you can share it with the world. But it will never become your message if you quit, if you allow every naysayer to stop you in the midst of the very thing that could literally turn your entire life around.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Pam said she said a key phrase in there, guys. It took us 20 years, right? And
Excellent.
Here's the thing. Yeah, that's our big dog. So here's the thing, right? In anything that you do, especially in this industry, you have to have a way to actually give back, right? Pam and I failed for 20 years. So this book is 20 years of failure lessons condensed, right? So that's why we're standing before you today. We're not getting paid to do this. We're standing before you today, giving back to you guys so you can learn these lessons. We could have just said, hey, go buy the book. It's in the book, but we decided to do an in-depth, dive into it so you guys can get some insight on it that you may not get on your own, in the book. So, there's 20, almost 30 years of experience in this industry here, standing in front of you. We know what works. We know what doesn't work adamantly, right? So, so we can most certainly tell you that, we can, coach you guys with the right mindset and mentality. If you're willing to be patient and learn and be coachable, we can coach you as far as we can coach you how to be multimillionaires, right? Because we're multimillionaires, so we can coach you to that level. We can't coach you to be billionaires. We're not there yet, right? But we can coach you to be multimillionaires because it's in this book, and that's what we're doing here today, right? It works in any industry that you're in, but you have to have the right components, right? The right components to put with what's in this book. That means the right company, the right products, the right services, the right comp plan, okay? And only you know if that's good for you. All right.
Absolutely.
So if you want the book, it's available now in ebook format. You can just go to Amazon and grab it. All right, How to Build a Fire in Your MLM Business.
Physical copy.
Or you can grab a physical copy. Right? Yeah, I got, you can grab a physical copy, and you can just go to 3LD. I think it's IAO 3LD. I had that in my brain power. I think it's 3LD. I think it's IEO3LD at gmail.com. Pam, let me grab it.
All right, so while he figures out where to get his book, all right, because he never shared that with me. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, I just want to say again, this is an industry, the industry of direct sales, MLM, is one that has truly changed our entire life. And on top of it, what I love about it is as we share these different topics, as we share these different principles, they truly carry over into anything that you want to do. Know that entrepreneurship is on the rise, like for real, entrepreneurs. So it's something in which, even after just last year and what the world went through, to where many people are realizing that, you could never create freedom just going out and building somebody else's dream. There's some passions, there's some goals, there's some desires, that you're created to create here on this earth in order to leave a legacy. And legacy is not about things. Legacy is about what are you here on this world, in this world, in order to give back to somebody else. And so that's why we love being entrepreneurs. We love what we do. And it's something that truly can give your family so much more.
Absolutely. So, and there's some of you guys on your Facebook users, we love you guys. You're putting in some great comments. Thank you so much. Somebody says, thank y'all so much.
Yes.
You're coming up, you're showing up to us as Facebook user. You probably already know this. So next time you have to broadcast, make sure you give permission to StreamYard to show your name. So if you want the book, the physical copy of the book, go to IAO3LD, right? IAO3LD at gmail.com.
Got it.
IAO3LD, thank you so much. Our amazing assistant, Carol, just put it in there for you guys. So that's where you want to go and grab the book. Right, now you remember.
I didn't know that one.
Right, so go grab and the physical copy will be mailed out to you guys if you want to grab that. And stay tuned for the more enhanced physical copy that's going to be on Amazon. So now you can have this version, and you can also have the workbook version of it as well once it comes out, and that'll be at some point in September. All right. So, Pam, you got anything else?
No, that's it. Other than we love you guys. Have an amazing rest of your week. Phenomenal weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you all not from the top, but at the top, because that bottom is way too crowded. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you guys again next week for another show, all right, as we continue to dive into and talk about another topic. All right, love you guys.
You guys are welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Appreciate you. I love you guys. See y'all later. You're welcome. Keep shining, y'all.